Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome to episode 4. I think this is episode 4 now. Time flies when you're having fun, right? I am currently in the new Maverick Chariot. So in our new van, we had to buy a van for the business. Starting to do more trade sales and more deliveries, and delivering kegs in the back of my family tour van was probably getting a little bit precarious. So as we've said before, all money made is reinvested back into the business. So we've purchased ourselves a nice new van, which I'll give you guys a little bit of a show round maybe a little bit later. So I've just been a little bit distracted. There's a car in front that is seriously smoky. Whoopsie. And we're on our way to go and pick up some benches. We're going down to a lovely little place. Woof. Down by the sea called Rye. This is a lady, Rosala and Steve, who I bought benches, like proper German imported. They go over to Germany and France a couple of times a year, bring back antiques and bits and pieces, and they also managed to pick up good quality used beer keller benches. And I got in touch with her because we're basically running out of seating in the tap room. I've not shown you guys any footage of how busy we're starting to get on kind of weekends, on Fridays and Saturdays now, and we've got a big birthday party coming up which we'll record some content for you guys about, but we need to go pick up some benches, so we're on our way down there, and then when we get there we'll give you a little bit of show round, and pick up some benches and yeah, get them back to the brewery. So yeah, just picked all these wonderful benches up from this lovely couple in their little storage unit. Yeah, and we've got a full van of 4 more tables and 8 more benches for more lovely people to come and sit on. So yeah, picked up all these imported German benches and tables from these guys here. And yeah, all loaded up inside, ready to go. Let's get back on the road. Hey guys, we've made it back. It was a bit of a long old drive, if I'm honest. 4-hour round trip. I think I'm kind of beginning to question my life choices right now. But we're back, and we're back with the table and benches. Might be easier if I get them out round the back. So I thought I was buying these benches off of the person that I bought some benches off previously, other ones I've currently got here. I then get there and it's clearly not the same person at all. It's all good, but not the same person I thought. But the bench quality is good. The table qualities are amazing. The prices were even better. So what we need to do is just get them out. Some of the benches, classically like they do, some of the bolts on some of the benches, because they're the things that get the most kind of wear and tear and abuse. So they need a bit of a tighten up. But these tables are the proper. Oh, let's put this down because it's really heavy. Imported German beer cellar benches, not the cheap Chinese imports. Don't get caught out by those things. You can tell these by a couple of different ways, namely around the latches and the way they cross them here. Kind of shows you that, you know, that's the sort of decent quality you're buying. I get this one, and they're really, really bloody heavy as well. You have to excuse me, I hurt my back a week ago. For reasons we'll go into later on a different day. But we get this one out, and they clip in really well. They tell they're really good and solid, these. You can stand them up, and they're great. And these are an absolute staple in the tap room. We needed more. We're getting busier and busier now, where people are running out of places to sit, and we're going to need more for the birthday. Probably going to have to hire in some tables and chairs or benches or stuff, something else as well, because I think hopefully, as long as we get this glorious weather, we should be nice and busy. So if I get one of the benches out, you'll see what I mean. So these aren't the usual benches that I've got previously. I've got some of the cheap Chinese ones here that I can show you. And these cheap Chinese ones are literally, you can just tell it's everything but a little bit smaller. Like the cross hair here is a bit smaller, a bit thinner. The legs are a little bit thinner, the metal. And the wood is a little bit thinner, a little bit cheaper. And these things flex when people sit on them. So, but they do a job. I got them super cheap. Same price for the tables. But these are different ones that I've never seen before. They're not quite as thick as the kind of super posh German beer cellar ones. Although they're pretty close, to be fair, looking at them now, actually. But the unusual thing about these, and this is actually quite good, I think, it's actually got a leg in the middle. Never buy those bloody benches that you see advertised on various places where they fold in the middle. That's just got a whole world of hurt written all over it. But all we're doing with these, it is a 10mm, is just giving all the bolts a bit of a nip up, just making sure everything is nice and tight, because these things have been used a bit. They've been in storage. This lovely guy, that one's quite loose. He's a antiques importer, and when they go to France and Germany to go and pick up antiques and bring them to the country, they pick up some of these. They also pick up, he was telling me, they also pick these up off of events companies that have them for a year or two, hire them out, beer events and that kind of thing. And then they sell them on and buy new ones. I must admit, I struggle to see why, even after a couple of years' use, that you'd need to sell these, but clearly they do. And they get new ones. It's probably a tax avoidance in there somewhere, one way, shape or another. But that's better. But you can see the difference in the crosses on the end of these. They're thicker, wider. The steel's a better gauge. And it's got the this in the middle, which is good, because then it just stops any bowing, because I bet the wood in this isn't as thick and as epic as some of the German beer cellar ones. I did pick up one proper beer cellar bench. The tables are. And classically, it's all the way at the bottom. No, it's not. There it is. Excuse the noises. Okay. And then, so this is one of the proper beer cellar ones. Move this to the front so you might be able to see it. I'll bring it round as well. You can just tell, you pick these things up. They are super heavy. Same cross, that's the sort of design you need to look for. Whether you can see that on camera or not, I'm not sure. Same cross, but super thick steel, super thick wood. These are pretty close, actually, to be fair. But these are proper heavy, and these are really do the job. I got an extra one of these. I got 4 tables, 8 benches. He had this one randomly. I'm not one to look a gift horse in the mouth. These sort of things are they're quite hard to come by, to be fair. Hence the reason why it was a bit further than I was expecting, but ended up driving down to a place called Rye. That's sort of Hastings way. It was a lovely sunny day, and in the new van, which was very pleasant to drive. That's been a great addition to the team, having that van. Let's go right in there. See, some of these bolts are just that little bit loose, so I think giving them a once over beforehand is not such a bad thing. Yeah, so we're just getting this done, get these in, and then I'll show you something else I'm doing in the background while this is going on to try and get something else done for the birthday party. So let's go. And this is why I always, every time I buy these, and regularly, you should check these things, because, I mean, look at this. These are just super loose, just through wear and tear, just people sitting on them. They get hot, they get cold, sat on, jumped on, and you just have to go through just tightening them all up. I suspect this side, yeah, this side's not even, I mean, that's literally going with my fingers, this one. And give them a good tighten up, because the last thing you want is to be sat on one of these with your pint and then it to give way on you and to spill your beer, because let's be honest, no one likes spilt beer. So yeah, good practice to always, this one's a bit squeaky actually, to go through and tighten, tighten all of these up, so they're ready for use next weekend and for the birthday party. Yeah, so last bench. What's this one like? This one's not too bad. Couple of tables to do. He's good. 2 more tables to do. And then, yeah, that one's well loose as well. It always astounds me how, I mean, these have been in this guy's lockup for God knows how long. This is just an odd sets as well. That's how I got them cheaper than normal, because they don't match, and most people that want these for their gardens and stuff want a pretty matching set, whereas we just need it to sit on to drink beer. So it's unmatching sets are good for me. Oh, there we go, that one's nice and loose as well, look. So yeah, just getting these last ones done and getting them ready to be sat on. Job done. So here's me, and I've just gone and lifted this out and done all the sparge, and then got back to check the camera, and then found that the microphone wasn't turned on. So, you know, this is all a learning process. Anyway, quick run through of actually what I've been doing here is, so I use these 2 pieces of wood with this Braumeister. This is the only single vessel system I've ever used. I know there's others available out there, but this is the only one I've ever used. Let me just clip you in here now. I know you're working. So this is the only single vessel system I've ever used, really. I know there's lots of other ones out there. But what I found over the 300 odd beers I've put through this thing, loads, is I've used these 2 pieces of wood to help raise up the malt pipe from the kettle, because I can put bigger grain bills in, I can get more volume out, ultimately get more beer, which, let's be honest, every home brewer wants. So let's just drip a little bit more. So yeah, that's what I do. Wedge it up, and then I sparge it. I've just sparged about 8.5, 9 litres through the grain into here to give me what I think is roughly my desired boil volume. And I've just set the, yeah, there we go. I've just set the boil going. which is actually the pump still going right now until it hits kind of boil temperature. Usual setup with probably most one vessel system. So you have a thick mesh that goes on the bottom of the malt pipe, thin mesh that goes on the top, grain on top, and then thin on top, fine mesh on top, and then coarse on top of that. And then a little clamp that fits it all together. Anyone that's not used a Braumeister before or used it, but I'm guessing it's very similar to a lot of other all-in-one systems. Yeah, like I said, I probably put best part of 300 beers through this thing, maybe even more. It's just reliable. I know what it does. It does what it says on the tin. So I can't really complain about it from there. So yeah, so we've got that in there. A little bit of sparge, salt. I've gone straight into the boil, just like I do on the big kit. So I sort of correct my mineral profile in the boil. And then, yeah, there we go. This beer is going to be, this is a beer for Charlie. It's going to go on the homebrew tap for the birthday. The idea with this is that the two people that work with me here at the brewery, Charlie, and the other person that you'll get revealed to very soon, who will be here working at the birthday party, I asked them both to tell me what kind of homebrew beer would they like to see on the taps at the birthday party. Charlie said he'd really like a Radler. He likes to set me a challenge. So the idea with this beer here is it's going to be about 4.2%, quite crisp, very crushable. We're going to use, or at least my idea, is to achieve a lemon and lime Radler. We're going to do that by putting sterile lemon puree at the end of the fermentation, just like we would do with a sour. So I've got some sterile lemon puree. Add a small amount of that, but then through the boil and then dry hopping, we're going to be using Motueka. So we're going to try and get that lemon and lime kind of through the hops and the fruit. That's the concept, anyway, at least. The grist for this is super simple. It's, you know, this one is like 4.3 kilos of extra pale. I think there's 0.35 of wheat and 0.15 of chit, I think, in what will be about a 25 litre batch, somewhere there and thereabouts. Water profiles more on the crisp side, but it's a little bit more sulfate heavy, probably about a ratio of 1:1. And then the other beer that we did for the other person that will be serving it at the birthday party was a fruited sour. So that's a 6.5% pastry fruited sour with passion fruit and mango in it. I think I mentioned before, we'll do a different episode one day where we're either going to do a sour on the big kit, or I'll show you how to do a kettle sour on this little thing here, which is exactly what I did for the birthday beer. Kettle sours, I think, they're a lot easier than people realise. You just need to follow a few certain steps along the way. But yeah, I mean, this is it. I mean, we're going kind of full kind of brewlosophy, short and shoddy here to get this turned around. It's 5:30. I've done 4 hours of driving today, picking up these benches. So I need to get this beer knocked out and in the FE nice and quick. We're probably going to ferment it with Mango Madness to make sure it ferments out super quick, because we've got 9 days until this beer needs to be served. We might need to add a little bit of findings in the keg to get it a little bit brighter, maybe, but we'll see. But hey, this is home brewing, and as you'll learn with a lot of stuff here at Maverick, you know, we're a little bit time crunched with a lot of the stuff we do, so we've just got to get these things done. So yeah, let's crack on with the boil. So just while we're waiting for the work to get up to the boil and get that through, I thought I'd show you around the latest member of the team. Oh, watch out for the sun. So yes, this is the Maverick van. She is a little beauty. Some birds have been abusing the white van a little bit, and it is a white van, but we got it for a really good price. It's going to do everything we need it to do. It was previously used. I got it through a guy that's kind of like a van dealer. Oh, God, trying to get out of that sun. That's tricky, isn't it? A guy that's a van dealer in his spare time, buys and sells a few vans here and there. I think it was used or owned previously by a lease company, and then it was used for installing fibre optic cables, terminating fibre optic cables on the motorways. 85,000 miles, but full service history. looking at the wear and tear on the van on the inside, it looks like it's done all motorway miles. So I'm kind of quite happy about that. I don't mind 85,000 miles, all in 6th gear. It did have a speed limiter on it as well, which I've just had to have that removed. So it's not done above 70 miles an hour. I know that for sure because I've just had the limiter removed. The only downside is it's got these annoying slam locks on the side. I'm guessing because they could have been in places and have high value equipment in here. Literally the moment you shut the door, it's locked. It doesn't unlock with the central locking. So inside, the cable that was on this handle is now attached to this for pulling and opening from the outside. I've had a look and I've got to take the sides off, take the little almost the end of like a car, like a push bike brakes. Remember the old ones with the little metal kind of tube on the end? Take it off there and reattach it into there. But I mean, it's got loads of space inside. Perfect. It's got a really good load weight. I think it'll do like 1.2 tons. Perfect for loading kegs into and doing deliveries. And then inside, I mean, it's a very standard kind of van from this kind of range. But it's got all the mod cons. Really comfy. I've just done 4.5 hours in it today, like 220 odd miles, 230 miles, and it just, yeah, brilliant, really good. So yeah, you know, as we said before, every bit of money we make, we reinvest it straight back into the business. And this is, you know, another example of that, of getting a van for myself, Charlie, and the newest member of staff when they come and join us. To be able to use to get out there, see customers, find new ones, do deliveries. We're planning on some stickers, some livery going on around on the van as well. We're kind of working on some ideas for that, so watch this space. But the only sort of needless thing to say is, as our brand colours are, it's going to be orange, so it's going to be fun. So keep an eye out for that. I might even do a little prize if anyone spots us out on the road and they're able to snap a pic and put it onto social media. You might get a can or two in the post if you're able to do that. So yes, watch this space. So boil is now coming along quite nicely. I tend to, when I need to get a good quick get up to boil quicker, I tend to wrap a blanket around the Braumeister. I know you can buy those fancy jackets for them, but a good thick blanket does the job. But yeah, boil's coming along. My little fermentosaurus that I dread to think how old this thing is now, but it's just done me proud. It's all cleaned. It's got sterilant in it, so it's got PA in it. That's kind of all ready to go. So yeah, we're just kind of just boiling along. I don't think they make these anymore. Someone might be able to correct me down in the comments, but I seem to recall there was a Kegland, Keg King kind of argument over who had the rights to these things. And they're not made anymore, which I think is a real shame, because I've seen the ones with the long metal plungers that go down the middle. I don't think they're right. Some of the other ones with a massive valve and stuff on them, and they only do them in like 27, whereas this I think it goes up to like 30, are okay, and we might have to buy another one of those just for fun. But it's a real shame you can't buy these anymore. So if anyone knows where you can buy them, by all means let me know. But again, boil-wise, super simple. We're just keeping it simple, a little bit short and shoddy because we're a bit time pressed on this one. So really small, 10 gram, 30 minute of Citra, 15 minute, 15 grams, and then 5 minutes, 20 grams of Citra, just to give us the bitterness we need. A little bit of hop character. Everything else is going to come from the dry hop and the fruit puree, the lemon puree we're going to put in. Ignore the orange bit. That was where I had an idea of trying to use Amarillo as well, but we're just going to simplify things. But this is the kind of grist and stuff that we're playing with here. So super simple. And I've just recalculated some of those bittering there. So yeah, we're rattling along. Most other things are already washed up, so that's good. It's just lovely outside at the moment, and I'm kind of marveling at our sea of organised chaos of benches and tables now. So we should have plenty of seating for the rest of the summer at least. I can't bring myself to buy any more tables and benches. It's getting a bit ridiculous otherwise. But yeah, we're rattling along. So just chilling down now. Finished the boil. Bit of Protofloc gone in there as well. Just want to get it to drop a little bit brighter, or as bright as it can before we put it into the FE, even though we're going to be dry hopping it and stuff. That can only help.
It's just a shame to be running that hot water down to drain. I'm just so used to recovering it all and reusing it again in my hot liquor tank. Anyway, let's get this chilled down, probably get it down to sort of 21 degrees. This is the yeast we're going to pitch with. We're going to stick some of this Mango Madness in there, let it rip through it. Probably day 2 after fermentation's kicked off, we're going to probably add in the fruit puree and the hops as well, just to try and shorten up this whole process. But yeah, it's coming along nicely and smelling and looking good as you would expect. So good so far. Well, here we are again, people. 24 hours later, probably is 24 hours later since I pitched the Mango Madness at the end of the brew day. I've come back in today to finish the cleanup because I just had to get the hell out of Dodge and get home, otherwise I was going to be in a lot of trouble. But I thought we'd just go and check and see how the yeast is getting along. What's the bets on 24 hours? Where do you reckon it's at? Let's have a look, shall we? So, what do I reckon? I reckon it's 19.5 degrees we've had this set at. Oh yeah, there we go, look. Yeah, rock hard, and that is going like a train. I'm not sure if you can see that. Hang on a minute, I'll get you around to have a look. Yeah, I mean, that is going like a train. Good old Mango Madness. Going like the clappers within 24 hours. Do you know what? I might even get that lemon puree out and get it in now, you know. And then we might be sticking the hops in maybe tomorrow, day after, right at the end of fermentation, because I reckon that might do the job. So yeah, I might just go and grab the lemon and maybe get this out and drop something in. So this is what I've got. Funkin' Cocktails, pure pour lemon. Now I'm actually going to chuck some ALDC in as well, just as a matter of course. I think I forgot to put it in when I pitched the yeast. Even though this is Kvike, I'm going to put some in anyway because I think it just doesn't hurt. I've got a load of it. But this, I've not tasted it yet. So actually, before I go dosing it, because we're on a voyage of discovery, I think I'm going to have a little taste first, just to see, get a feel for how tart it's going to be. I think with, oh, hello. Oops, okay. God, that came out a bit quicker than planned. I have to wipe that up. Oh, okay. Oh, it's got a really nice, like that lemon radler, like proper lemon aroma. Oh, but my God, has it got a kick? Oh, okay, we're not going to need much of that. So we've got, wow, got 23 litres. I reckon that's just going to need the lightest tickle, you know, because we're not going to want something that's crazy lemon. I wonder if we could do a little test. Hang on a minute, I'll be back. So this is Kia Aura's on New Zealand Pale. It's 4.5%, and I've kept maybe 4 ml of that rocket fuel in the bottom of the glass, and that's about half a pint, a little bit more. And I just thought, let's see how it translates, see how strongly it comes through. Okay, that's not as pokey as I thought it was going to be. You can just smell, even through the punchy, this has got the Turkey's Pick New Zealand blend in it, but you can just pick the lemon out in the aroma, which is kind of what you want. And there is that tiny touch of lemony sourness in the background, but not much. I mean, that was a tiny amount. So yeah, I don't think we're looking at much. So if we calculate that, if we say that's 5 ml, it's going to be like 100 ml, so like 100 grams. going on a 1-to-1 basis. I think, something like that. Because you want to spoil it and make it a sour, because it's not a sour. Maybe a little bit more, maybe 125. Let's get some scales and let's do this. So let's lift this little bad boy out. Back still hurts. Yeah, that smells like mango madness fermenting as well. Let's get that off. It's going to bubble us. Tiniest amount of ALDC. Let's get that in anyway. I think literally that's all we're going to need. Right, so... Oh, excuse me. Crikey. So this weighs 1,056 grams. What do you reckon? 150? I reckon. I reckon that's what we're going to go for. See what that much looks like, shall we? So what's that? We've just put in... Okay, so we've just put in 50 grams. $20 grams more, I think. Should we just go for 200? A little bit more. Tiny bit more just for luck. It's our birthday, right? Got to go for it. Right, there we go. So that is 220 grams or milliliters, assuming it's a 1-to-1 of lemon juice that's gone in there. That should refresh it up a little bit. And then what we'll probably do is I think we'll drop the hops in tomorrow or the day after, right at the back end of fermentation. And that should, we should be able to catch that. And that should help speed things along. Whoopsie. Because obviously we ran out of time a little bit to get this beer on. So, but with any luck, we should get it. Never forget to put the spunding valve on. I forgot to do that before. Actually, while we're here, do you want to have a quick look? All I've done with my, it's a bit Heath Robinson, but you can have a look at my fermentation fridge and I'll show you what I've done. So in my fermentation fridge, literally all it is, it's my fermenter sauce I was showing you earlier. I've made a little wooden stand here for the FV to stand on. And then behind it, I've just got a greenhouse heater, low wattage, low density greenhouse heater. I've got a good old fashioned Inkbird temperature probe strapped to the side. And literally, I don't do anything too posh. No cables out the side of the wall, literally around the side. Obviously, heat plug is connected to the heater. Cooler set to the fridge. And then down there, I've just got everyone's favourite Inkbird. It's not the Wi-Fi version. I don't need to keep looking at this stuff while I'm at home, but that's literally, oh, focus, come on. And that's literally it. That's all it does. So we've now got some lemon juice in there. Hopefully that will give us just the lemon we're looking for. And then, yeah, it's going to be hops tomorrow. Hey, everyone. I'll apologise now. All the chillers are just going flat out at the moment. We're 7 days away from the birthday party, and we're cold crashing like hell. And it's like 22 degrees inside at 10 to 9 at night. So it's Poor old chillers are working overtime. I just thought I'd give you a little show. I'm going to have a little bit of an experiment with a spare corny keg we've got of the Impy Stout, and I want to try a little something for the birthday, and we'll just see if it works. So what I've done is I picked up a couple of, can you see that, medium toast oak spirals. I've never used these before, but I've heard good things about them, and I'm going to drop these down into this one corny keg I've got here of Impy Stout. What I'm also going to do is to enhance the barrel aging character a little bit more. I'm going to add some of this. This is probably back to front because I'm using the front-facing camera, but Heaven Hills basically, which is what the oak barrels that I've got the main part of the Impy Stout aging in right now. So we're kind of like trying to replicate that, but in like 7, 8, 9 days. So yes, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop this in with some string, have the string just dangling out over the side through the seal so they don't drop to the bottom and I can remove them, because I have heard that these can impart a lot of flavour real quick, so you need to be careful. So yeah, so here goes. Oh yeah, I mean this is like properly full. I'm venting some gas out and Impy Stout's coming out. I might have to put a tap on that rather than waste it. 2 seconds. So this must mean that this thing is absolutely full to the brim. So that's the in and that's the out. I'm going to have to rinse that off in a bit. Let me put this to see what's in here. I might have to put some gas on it maybe to get it out. Let's get some gas on it. Put a bit of gas on. There's not much room in there for gas by the looks of it. Run some of this Impy Stout out and then we can always pop it back in once we've got the level down, rather than just waste it. Oh, smells pretty good. It's pouring like syrup as well. Right, let's see if that's enough. Right over there. There we go. Take that gas off. Right, there we go. I think that's got it now. So that is now degassed. Let me soak this string again quickly in PA. So in theory, I want to rinse that that Impy Stout that's just come out the top there. God, it really is like treacle. Jeez. I'm going to have to hose this thing off afterwards, I reckon. In theory then, because I can purge this afterwards. So, there we go. Oh yeah, I mean, that's proper full. So, balance. So if I get my oak spirals, and somehow get those in, because obviously they're wood, so they're going to float. And then I get my measure of Heaven Hills, and I get that in there. And I make up think I'm going to have to use that as a top up on the barrels, I think, so I don't think there's going to be any space. So let's get some more string in there so they can drop a bit. And then see if I can get this in like that. Bloody hell. Right, that's going to have to be a barrel top up. Right, let's pour a bit of this because we've got some sterilant there. Right, let's give it a little gas to flush it out. Do apologise for the sounds of the chillers, but it is bloody warm in here. All right, so that's I mean, there's next to no headspace in this thing anyway, so I can't imagine it's not gonna need much. Of course, off the back of this, is I can set this to carb as well after this, and this will take a tricky one to carb because it's going to be so thick. One more. And there you go. That's it. Oak spirals in it to get a bit of oak character, some whiskey in it to give it some whiskey character. Let's see what this tastes like on the birthday. This will probably be the last keg that goes on. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be fun. So yeah, that's us. Preparations for the birthday party are rapidly coming along. We've got some more benches, got those set up ready to go. We're going to test them out this Friday and Saturday, which is our kind of last weekend proper before the tap room, in the tap room before the birthday party. We've got all the beers, have all been dry hopped. They've all been rumbled at least twice. All starting to go into cold crash now. So it's Tuesday, canning on Wednesday. So we've got a good, 6-7 days to get them to drop as much out as we can, especially if we can get them, if the temperature allows, get them down to kind of like 1 degree, get them carved up. We should be good. I might look at maybe buying an inline filter between now and then, maybe just to be on the safe side. But we've got the racking arms. We'll be dumping out the cone and stuff, so that should be all good. The final beer, the Radler, is coming along nicely. So yeah, currently things are looking all right. I had a sneaky little taste of that imperial before I poured the rest into one of the barrels that do need topping up actually, so I might have to do that on another day. Tasting pretty good. It's probably about 2 months old now. It's only been in steel. All the stuff I've tasted, but it's rounded out massively. And it's probably more than 2 months actually. Rounded out really nicely. Still got a bit of bitterness behind it, but I think again more age and more time and some oak will do that some good. And yeah, we've obviously dosed up that one little corny keg as well as a little surprise for the birthday party. So yeah, 11% oak character aged Heaven Hills bourbon imperial stout will be the final one to go on the birthday party. So hopefully it's going to be Radler to start, ease you into the day at like 4.2, whichever way it finishes, into the 6.5% fruited sour, finish the night on the 11% imperial stout. What's not to love? I mean, that's the way, as well as all the other beers we've got to release. These three plus one other that I packaged prior to this, which is a 4.5% session beer, but it's like clues in the name of the title, but it's lemon yellow. It's looking awesome. It tastes pretty good as well. Loads of Amarillo in it. And then a collaboration beer with my mate Brooke. So yeah, so it's looking pretty good actually at the moment. all the usual last minute panics, looking at the weather and all that sort of stuff. But, you know, to a point, we're in the lap of the gods on that one. So it'll just be what it'll be. But yeah, see you soon.